It is a Free Comedy Friday today, and we are very excited to have our next guest hanging out with us in studio. Derrkck Stroup is going to be performing at the American Comedy Company this weekend. Got a couple shows tonight, couple shows tomorrow night. Derrck, welcome to San Diego, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I know. Oh, I can tell by the accent. You're from New York? Or
Yeah.
Trying to pick that up.
You know what's funny? I live in New York City.
Do you really?
I really do.
Oh, wow.
Nobody believes me there. No, I live in Queens, and I talk about it on stage. But yeah, when you sound like me in New York City, everybody thinks you're. I mean, I told the guy at the bodega, I was like, I live here, and he's like, enjoy your visit.
No doubt. That's crazy. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I lived in Denver for 10 years.
Okay.
And then I just moved to New York City probably like 8 months ago.
And the accent just doesn't go, huh?
You know what's funny is the accent's gone a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were more than this?
It was thicker?
If anybody could talk to people really from Alabama, it's so much thicker than like I've got like an Oklahoma, Texas type. Yeah. Alabama is deep in the South.
Yeah.
I mean, my friends, I sometimes forget, and then I call home and they're like, man, your TikTok's going crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am from there. That's crazy. So my accent doesn't seem that much to me, but it definitely jumps out.
It jumps out, and like being from the West Coast, I hope this isn't an insult.
No.
Well, okay.
Derrck, it will be. I'm so
we were
sorry.
chatting off the air, the Southern accent, super strong, and then you have a cup next to you.
Yeah.
And you picked it up to put it to your mouth like a normal human does to drink something, and for some reason, my brain thought you're dipping and you're spitting in the cup.
Whoa.
And then I saw you drink, and I'm like, oh,
Derrck, I'm
sorry. Just because he's from the South.
I love that. I love how and when I was on stage last night, I looked at the crowd and I go, how crazy. I go, it's a real Southern person in front of y'all.
It is.
Some of y'all just watched Forrest Gump and wrote us off.
No, honestly.
I go, I'm here. Here I am.
We're known for the zoo here in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
It is like, we're now observing you in the wild.
Yeah.
I am.
And I don't hate that because I'm much faster and quicker than, and like the accent always kind of sets me up in a good way in comedy.
Well, we were talking recently about Southern accents are the most. There was some study done that they're the most like welcoming and warming, and I feel good with you.
We can't trust them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a weird time. It's a weird time to have a Southern accent.
Sure.
People are projecting at an all-time rate.
Yeah, you just heard, Sky assumed something about you.
I took a sip of coffee. She's like, I thought you were going to spit in that.
I did.
I address that on stage, and I like to. I'm a pretty self-aware man.
Yeah.
Like, in New York City, I do this kind of quick joke up top at the cellar where I go, when you talk like me, if you ask if we're in Chinatown, you better be right. Because if you're wrong, nobody believes it's an accident.
Yeah.
And it's a good heat check for the room because if you're listening to every word, there's no punching down. I didn't say anything. Yeah. It's a funny observation.
Sure.
But if you just are triggered by my accent, I'll see you cross my arms. And I know, okay. Yeah. You're not hearing the joke. You're not hearing the jokes. Yeah. You're hearing the accent.
Right.
So I'm smart enough on stage to where I know certain jokes that I send out there, the reactions I get are kind of me feeling the room because I can tell in some jokes I go, no, that joke has no victims and you are looking for victims.
Yeah,
because
you're looking to be mad.
I sound the way I do.
It's so wild to go to a comedy show looking to almost be offended. But that's kind of where we're at now with society and whatever. Yeah. And then, with your accent, I get what you're saying. It's just
and more of where I would run into that, if somebody comes out to the shows this weekend, they're consciously buying a ticket to an act that they're, for the most part, they know what they're going to see. I mentioned it. I do say that comedy is the only art form where people will show up and not know exactly what they're going to. People would never do that with music.
That's
You'd
true.
never go buy 3 tickets at a music hall and go, I hope it's jazz.
That's a great point.
You would know. Sometimes people go buy chicken fingers and they go, let's see what this guy's going to talk about.
Yeah.
But for the type of feeling where I'm talking about reading a crowd, and that's going to be like at the cellar and pop-in spots where people aren't necessarily knowing they're going to see me.
Okay, yeah.
But when people are buying tickets, they know that they're seeing a certain act.
Sure.
And when I say I do Southern comedy, I mean, I do any type of comedy, but with my accent, I can't run from it.
It just makes it southern.
My perspective, my point of view, but it's much quicker and much smarter than that, and that's why I like to have fun with it. And I kind of like when the crowd comes in, on their heels, already making assumptions.
Like, am I assuming I'm going to see Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah.
And then you
exactly.
Yes.
No. And I'm going, and I'm Bill Burr raised in the woods.
Perfect. That's great.
And
you're not doing you're not doing the you're a redneck.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Everything has its place.
Yeah, for sure. But for me, it's like. I'm trying to take Southern comedy can be what it is and not be exactly in the box that everybody thinks it has.
That's great,
be,
man.
so,
I love that stuff. Yeah, definitely go see him. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night. Derrick, is going to be awesome. Now, living in New York, even for anybody that's not, because Thor is from New York originally. Yeah. He's from Long Island. That is a massive fish out of water. I don't care who you are, but I feel like for the South, that's a very different.
It's completely different.
I lived in upstate New York, and that was wild for me because I'm a California boy, and just the attitudes there are completely different.
Yeah,
especially from the South. South's very welcoming and warm, like we
probably
were
a little slower,
maybe
kinder.
Slow pace.
Yeah.
What is your experience like in New York?
Well, the good thing is living in Denver for 10 years was a nice buffer.
Okay.
A lot of people want to take me fresh off the farm and put me in New York City, which would be exactly what you're all picking.
Yes, right.
But living in Denver for 10 years,
you're okay.
You learn as a Southerner, I still believe in manners and that whole dance, but you got to get over yourself and understand that because somebody didn't hold the door for you the amount of time that you, doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Oh, wow.
They're
kind of rude.
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, you see me. I'm playing to both sides of the room.
Right.
But Denver kind of taught me that patience and with other people, and then for me, learning about other people, it's kind of my cultural baptism, if you will.
Working with this guy for as long as I have, I have to get used to it. Like he's an in-your-face guy. And it's like there is no. It's not that they're trying to be rude. Mm-hmm. It's just a different way of life where it's like you walk into a deli or whatever. Mm-hmm. They will literally say to you, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
And
if you don't know, they're going to move on to something else.
But
you should know what you want.
What do I want?
No.
You didn't greet me and ask me how I'm doing.
See, when I go to a place out here, I'm annoyed that it takes so long.
Yeah.
Let's go. I got places to go.
Very
people
different.
to see.
I get. Well, for me, I mean, we just met each other, so y'all wouldn't know this.
Okay.
What?
New York City works for me. I'm a very kind of like sounds like how Thor is.
Okay.
I'm a very nice guy, but I'm a no nonsense. Like, if you cut in front of me in line, I'm not going to go, well, I wish they'd act a little different. I'm inside the boat. I go, hey, you're behind me. And they go, oh, I didn't see you. I go, everybody in the daggum place saw me. I'm a spark plug. I'm fiery.
You're not messing around.
I've been that way my whole life.
Yeah.
So New York City works for me. Like,
That's good.
I bought a hot dog 2 months ago.
There you go.
No joke. I mean, we went at each other because he was trying to upcharge me, and we're like, and then I paid him. I took my hot dog, and you know what I loved about it? I never thought about that conversation. I love that type of communication. I told him how he was annoying me.
Yeah.
He told me I could buy a hot dog somewhere else.
Yeah.
I went, good day, sir.
And that was
then we went on. I had my hot dog. I actually, that's what I mean by like you try to put Southerners, and that's fine because a lot of them are in certain boxes. But I'm not walking around New York City going, I wish people would give me a biscuit. That's not going on. I've got
fit.
a little bit.
You kind of fit.
Yeah, I'm my style on stage. I'm ranty, downhill, angry. I'm like that, and I don't. Before I get on stage, I don't go, okay, Derrick, let's be ranty tonight.
Yeah,
I live in that.
You're just
world.
letting it out.
So it's 8:00 in the morning. I'm running hot.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this guy again. Thor.
Okay.
Every Wednesday we do something called Thor's Midweek Meltdown.
Yeah, I
and
love
he
that.
picks something that's annoying him.
Like right now, I'm really annoyed. I'm about people posting on Facebook that their kids are having moving up ceremonies for first graders or eighth graders. It's like any idiot can graduate first grade. I'm sorry. Like, what are we doing
They're
here?
kids.
Children idiots.
My tour is called Mad About Nothing.
Nice.
Because that's how I spend. Because I want people to know I'm mad all the time. And it's usually not about. I'm not going to sit here and have a political soapbox.
Right.
I'm going to talk to you about how a place should have tater tots instead of French fries.
Yes, that makes sense.
Wait, instead of or in addition to?
Instead of. I mean, and so listen, it's just an example. That was just a straw case there. I mean, I had to come up with a fake argument immediately. I'm not digging my heels in the
Right.
Okay.
That's not your platform.
Yeah. I just gave an example.
Okay.
But
I will hold you to it.
I'm constantly angry about things that wouldn't matter to other. I've been that way my whole life.
My God.
You come to me with a serious issue, I'll probably calmly take it in, address it. My shirt gets hung on a doorknob. I'll fight everybody in here. I get.
It is really annoying when that happens.
Yeah.
It is really annoying.
No, this is. I think you guys have met your soulmates here.
Yeah, this is great.
This is because the things that annoy this guy.
Well, and I don't
make any sense.
can't understand people like, because she'll have somebody cut in front of her and be like. And apologize to them for standing there. Yeah. And she'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry that I was standing here. Do you want to cut in front of me again?"
There was a homeless guy that came up to her.
Don't tell him this.
She was at the ATM and she just pulled out money. And the homeless guy just walks up to her and yells out, "ATM!" Yeah. And so she gave her money. Gave him $20. Just like that.
How do you comprehend that, dude?
Look at Derrick's face.
Listen, first of all, I got to say, this story, Thor's going to enjoy this very quick story the most.
Give it to us,
just to give you an example of how I am cutting in front of people.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
My wife is very, very quiet, introverted. We're the opposites attract situation.
Sure.
Okay.
So when we're flying out of separate gates out of the airport, she's a Southwest gate that's across the way.
Okay.
I'm on a United gate that's across. Well, I know Alyssa is going to let people just pile in front of her, and she's not going to hold up her number and get in the right place in line.
Yeah.
Because she's just like that. I mean, she's like A14. She'll end up in E9.
Oh, gosh.
She doesn't, because she'll let anybody. So let me tell you who I am. And y'all are going to be like, this guy's a psychopath. I go over there, and I go, Alyssa, can I have your phone? And I get her phone out, and I go, okay, so you're A13. Sir, what do we got? Okay, A17. You're headed on back. What do you got? A19. Alyssa, everybody's cutting in front. You're in the back, too, my man. And I worked Alyssa all the way into the front of the line. And then I went and boarded my plane because I couldn't fathom her letting, and it wasn't even me, but I couldn't fathom her letting the entire plane cut in front of her.
Yeah,
and I'm sure everybody around us was like, I hope everything's okay at home.
Yeah, blink, ma'am.
Alyssa
blink.
loves that about me.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
She doesn't have to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, she wants to be in her right position, but she doesn't want to voice up. And everybody in the Southwest line's hiding their boarding position like psychopaths. I announce mine, and I go, here we go. We're getting in line, okay?
Sorry, 814.
Yeah.
Get behind us.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Derrick, this sounds awesome, man. Can't wait to see the shows this weekend. American Comedy Company, couple shows tonight, couple shows tomorrow night. Derrick, you fit right in here, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
for coming in, buddy.
Thanks for having me.